What is up, y'all? For today's video, I'm gonna be reacting to an episode of One Piece. So last episode I ended up watching, most of the Straw Hats were going up against a Shark, which is a separate version of Jinbei, and they did not do so hot. They didn't lose, but they also didn't win. Shaka stops the fight from continuing because he wants to talk to the Straw Hats, and what he tells them was pretty big and mysterious. Shaka ends up telling them something along the lines of how Egghead Island is possibly from the past, if I was understanding that right. So is Shaka kind of like alluding that, you know, time travel is becoming a key factor again, just like how it was in Wano? So I'm very excited to see how this next episode goes, but before I get started with the reaction, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos just like this. So let's go ahead and jump right in and see what One Piece has in store for us. So I'm assuming time travel is not a thing. Like Shaka is just saying that there was a civilization 900 years ago that was similar to Egghead Island, but it's just a theory. That's what I'm saying. Like, it has to do something with the Void Century because it was 900 years ago, so it has something to do with it. Oh, we're about to know the Void Century. We got to learn some information about the Void Century. So pretty much the Void Century was a war between this advanced kingdom and 20 other kingdoms. Ooh, okay. And these 20 kingdoms won and they formed the world government. But like, why hide this? Like, why hide the information? Oh, okay. So that's why that's the whole thing for the Void Century. There was this battle between 20 kingdoms versus this advanced kingdom, and once the 20 kingdoms ended up beating this advanced kingdom, you know, they created the world government and they erased this whole thing because they didn't want people to get like to pretty much have the same ideology as this advanced kingdom was, because if they did, they would revolt against the world government. So that's why it's illegal to like learn about the Void Century and why it was completely erased in the first place. Oh, okay. Now, like I'm assuming he's talking about how like Egghead Island, like, you know, a civilization that's similar to Egghead Island, that was the advanced kingdom. That's the one that, like, you know, got destroyed by the 20 other kingdoms. Okay. Things are getting interesting. And we know the world government can do something like that, to like erase something from history, because we seen them do it with that one island where Saba was at. So yeah, this is all a possibility, but it kind of makes sense. Even though it's just a theory, it does kind of make sense a little bit. And you gotta admit, like, with this just being a theory, right? And with Ohara like learning about this, and like, you know, I guess like, you know, they came to kind of like the conclusion that this could be a possibility, right? There's a good chance that they were like, either they were correct, or they were, you know, maybe slightly off. That's why they got executed. That's why they got killed. You know, they did the Buster Call. Well, like Spondum's dad kind of like accidentally made a Buster Call, but he didn't want to, like, you know, he didn't want to cancel it, so he was just like, yeah, just let the Buster Call happen and everything. But like, there's a possibility that maybe Ohara, they were like pretty close to coming, like, to figuring out exactly what happened during the Void Century. So not even Vegapunk knows. Also, like the rules still apply to him, even though like he is like affiliated with the government, and like he's like, you know, highly affiliated with them. Even he doesn't get to know, and if he learns about it, he will get killed. So maybe that's why CP9 or CP0 is heading to Egghead Island, you know, because he knows about, or like he kind of like heard about the theory. So maybe that's why they're heading over there, to get rid of Vegapunk. Oh, Vegapunk went there. He knew Clover? Vegapunk knew Clover. Oh, he went to go pay his respects. Wow, so Clover had his own crew. He was like kind of like a pirate, but instead of going for treasure, he was just going for information. Yeah, once he started talking about all of this, that's when like they knew that, like, oh, okay, we got to get rid of this guy because he knows a little too much. Yeah, like the world government wasn't really scared of like the ancient weapons. They're more scared of like people like learning about the history of this advanced kingdom, and then, you know, getting their ideology and feeling the same way, and then revolting later on. Okay, so like the Buster Call wasn't an accident. Like, he actually got the okay from the Grand Elders, because Clover, he knew too much. He knew stuff that no one should have known. Clover was practically like Kendrick Lamar. He knew things that no one should know about, or no one could have like known about. Oh, we're getting we got yo. We're getting a glimpse of Vegapunk. Now his hair is absolutely wild. It's like oh my god, his hair reminds me of the guy from Mob Psycho. What was his name? Taruki, that was his name. Like he has like the similar hairstyle of Taruki. Man, I can't believe we're actually getting a glimpse of like, wait, what? Yo, so Clover managed to save all of the books. Like they didn't get burned. They were just thrown in like this little like pond. Oh, so like all the scholars like, you know, sacrificed their lives and like threw the books into this water so they don't get burned. So that's how Vegapunk knows about this stuff. Man, Robin's backstory was so tragic. Like out of all the strategy, she probably has like top 5 most tragic backstories. Like tragic, is tragic the right word? Definitely like most like pull at your heartstrings like moments or like backstory. She's definitely like top 5 with that. And then are we gonna have to relive Saul sacrificing his life for Robin again? Because I don't know if I can go through that again. I absolutely don't know if I can go through that again. Oh man, like we don't get to see like Robin have this kind of emotion like ever, but when she does, it hurts so much. Wait, who? That one giant. I know he was at Annie's lobby, right? Right? I'm pretty. Am I thinking of the right giant? Am I thinking of the right giant? I think that was a giant from like Annie's lobby, right? Yo, are they? Okay. Yo, if somehow Luffy manages to get this thing working, that would be kind of terrifying. Just with Luffy being the pilot of it, I would be very, very terrified. Oh, that was adorable. That was absolutely adorable. It definitely feels like a callback to when like they tried doing this back at Thriller Bark. Are you telling me that? Wait, that was Vegapunk. That was Vegapunk we just saw. He just teleported out of nowhere. Like half of him is inside that robot. That had to have been Vegapunk, right? I'm pretty certain that was Vegapunk. Man, I really thought they found a way to activate this robot. I was so sure they somehow found a way to how to activate it. But no, it seems like it's just Vegapunk. Yo, we finally get to see this man. We finally get to see Vegapunk. Well, I mean, we get to see half of Vegapunk, but still, we get to finally see the actual Vegapunk. Yo, I can't believe after so many years of first learning about this man, we finally get to see him. But like, how did he teleport there? And how did he end up like halfway into this robot? Like it had to have been one of his gizmos that caused this, right? Unless he has like a particular devil fruit that allows him to do that. Yo, Luffy does not know who he just helped out. He doesn't know who he just helped out. Vegapunk knows about him being Dragon Son too. Well, I mean, everyone knows about Luffy being Dragon Son, but still, like, he even knows about that? Yo, he seems like wacky, but like also so chill. Well, I mean, Luffy doesn't really need this because, you know, 4th year allows him to do this, you know, allows him to do it like without any help from technology. But I guess, you know, this does work too. Man, like Vegapunk's like personality, like so far, I would not have expected it to be like that. I honestly expected Vegapunk's personality to be more like, definitely crazy, but like not as like chill as he is right now. Like I expected this dude to be extremely serious, but then, you know, also just crazy as well. But man, I cannot believe it. Cannot believe we finally get to see Vegapunk. Man, it was weird because like it seemed like they were kind of like, you know, we got to see some glimpses of Vegapunk back when, you know, Robin's backstory happened and everything. You know, when he went to Ohara after the Buster Call happened, you know, he went to go pay his respects to Clover, you know, and we got like a little glimpse of him. So like back in his younger days, but now we finally get to see this man. At first we get to see only like half of him because half of him was like inside of a robot because like I guess he somehow like teleported over there. We get to see half of Vegapunk, but we actually finally get to see this man, this legendary scientist that we've heard so much about throughout the years of One Piece being a thing, and now finally getting to see Vegapunk. That is insane. I cannot believe it. We finally get to see Vegapunk after so many years of when he first was like mentioned in One Piece. Finally get to see what this man looks like, and we get his personality. And honestly, like I said, it's not what I expected. I expected him to be like more of a serious type of like scientist and everything, but also crazy. He's definitely crazy, but like in a good way. And he's pretty chill. He's kind of like Luffy, I want to say. Like he seems like pretty like carefree and everything. So definitely not what I was expecting when it comes to like Vegapunk's personality. But yeah, other than finally getting to see what Vegapunk looks like, we got a little bit more like information with this episode, like the theory on what happened during the Void Century, how it was like one advanced kingdom going up against 20 other kingdoms. These 20 kingdoms end up beating that advanced kingdom, and this is how the world government started. And the reason why it's illegal to try to learn about what happened during the Void Century is because, you know, the world government doesn't want people to like have the same ideology as the civilians of this advanced kingdom. So that's why it's illegal. We kind of had to like relive Robin's backstory again, you know, with her Olvia kind of like, you know, saying their goodbyes, Saul saving Robin and everything, Clover dying, finding out that like Clover was kind of like, he was kind of like a pirate, but like he wasn't really going after treasure. He was going after like documents and like, you know, trying to learn everything he can about the Void Century. So in a way that was his treasure. And again, it seems like even though this is kind of like, you know, this whole thing was kind of like a theory, you know, he was saying a little bit too much when he was like in front of like Spondam's dad, and like, you know, like the Grand Elders were like listening in on this conversation and ordered the Buster Call because Clover knew a little bit too much. And so they were just like, you know, they were just like, okay, so since this dude knows, he knows quite a bit about what happened. Now we don't know if this is just a theory, but we don't know if like this is true or not. But with the way that the Grand Elders wanted this Buster Call to happen, it either seems like Clover was either really close to the answer, but he didn't exactly get it right, or he definitely got it right. So that's why they wanted the Buster Call. But either way, crazy that we finally get to learn a little bit more about the Void Century, but at the cost of Robin having to relive this whole thing all over again. You know, she started crying, and then everyone in the shop started to get pissed off at Shaka for making Robin cry and everything, which is completely understandable. But yeah, like I feel like this was kind of something she kind of needed to know, because it turns out that all the books that were at Ohara, the archaeologists and everything managed to save those books instead of them being burnt and everything. So I guess in a way it was like, it was good for Robin to hear about all of this, even though she had to relive her horrible backstory. At least she knows that like all those books that they had at Ohara are perfectly fine. And I think like Vegapunk was talking about how like he had help getting those books out of that body of water. And we got a glimpse of like one of the giants. And I'm pretty sure that was one of the giants from Annie's lobby, if I'm remembering correctly, because it was the helmet. It was the helmet that kind of like made me like kind of like think about that one giant. But yeah, this episode was just crazy. Again, you know, like getting more information about the Void Century, even though it was just a theory. It seems like it's a pretty plausible theory based on like the fact, again, with Clover talking about this, you know, especially with the fact that like the world government isn't like too scared about the ancient weapons. They're more scared of like people adapting to the ancient civilization's ideology, you know, and the world, and then the Grand Elders being like, yep, execute this guy, get rid of Ohara right away, Buster Call this place right now. You know, it seems like he was pretty close to possibly being right, or he was right all along. And then again, we get to finally meet Vegapunk. So pretty crazy episode. This episode was so crazy, I pretty much got nothing else to say, so I'm gonna end the video here. Thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for my other reactions, also for my discussion videos. So if you're into any of those, definitely subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment, you know, the whole thing. So with all that being said, again, thank y'all for watching. Until next time, see ya.